this is a lesser politician would use this opportunity to make a cheap pitch for the Democratic convention. I will not do that today, but I will, in fact, not tell you that yesterday the temperature in Cleveland was 91 and humid. We are really here today because I stand with another mayor, with a former governor and a former mayor, and with our next governor who will understand local government services better than any person who has entered the governor's office in modern Minnesota history, period. And Mark Dayton knows what Governor Pawlenty and Tom Emmer don't know. They know that the state of Minnesota and communities across this state need to be in tight partnership to provide basic local services.
First of all, I'm proud to be standing with him. Governor Kane and I have a lot in common. We were both born in St. Joseph's Hospital in downtown St. Paul with Larry Fitzgerald. He got the brains, Larry got the athleticism, I got the looks. We need a governor that understands that it's a partnership between the cities and the state of Minnesota. We need a governor that wouldn't be so foolish as to turn back federal resources at a time of great fiscal crisis in the state of Minnesota.
I think this is a race that kind of pits ideology against common sense. It is ideology that causes a governor who is thinking about running for president to turn down monies often paid for by Minnesota taxpayers that could be used to benefit Minnesotans, those with disabilities, those seniors who would benefit from the Medicaid funds that Governor Pawlenty turned down. Why you would want to turn down monies that might have come from Minnesota taxpayers and let the taxpayers of Iowa and New Hampshire get the monies, I can't figure. Minnesota has done better than most in a tough time, but look, the times are still tough and they're challenging. Mark knows what it takes to have a state have a strong economy. It's certainly good policies and the ability to attract businesses, but it is also heavily focused on things like educational investments, which create the important workforce of tomorrow that serves as the magnet for jobs.
Both the Mayor Rybak and Mayor Coleman have suffered and endured the failed leadership in St. Paul by Governor Pawlenty and the fiscal irresponsibility that have cut local government aids and forced them to make the decisions that the governor avoided. I was very honored yesterday to receive the endorsement of the Minnesota Professional Firefighters Association, the day before the Minnesota Police Officers Federation, combined with the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association and through AFSCME, the state correctional officers. I am the public safety gubernatorial candidate in Minnesota, and given that both the Minneapolis police officers and the Minnesota Professional Firefighters previously endorsed Governor Pawlenty, I feel especially honored that they recognize the importance and the difference between myself and continuing local government aids, the Legislative Commission on Fiscal Policy, the need to delay payments once again totaling $230 million to the school districts, to the University of Minnesota, and even withholding the refunds for corporations for their sales tax exemption for the purchase of capital equipment, which is essential for the economic recovery for the state of Minnesota. Representative Emmer wants to eliminate local government aids entirely. That will result in further layoffs of police and fire. It will result inevitably in higher property taxes.
4 more years of the baloney that Tim Pawlenty has tried to pitch. The reality is he has presided over wildly inefficient state spending, has done nothing to make the state government more efficient, has presided over the largest property tax increases possibly in the state of Minnesota's history.
We know what they're against. We know what they're saying no to. I don't think Minnesotans have figured out what Tom Emmer is going to say yes to. That does not seem to match the character of the Minnesota electorate as I've gotten to understand it.
Also, he has been nice to meet you. Thank you very much. We'll continue it.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Honored that you're here.
Hey,
Thank you
very much. Go get him. Yeah, great to be here.
Thank you.